There's a glitch in your net.
Oh, all right. So, Doc, let me come to you with this question anyway. What about the woman's gesture? Do you have concerns with?
Well, as I said earlier on, in communication experts tell you that there are two forms of communication, verbal and non-verbal. And what many people don't know is that sometimes the non-verbal aspect of communication actually speaks much louder than words. So I'm looking at her posturing and the way she is narrating the incident without any expression of, as it were, emotion concerning whatever has happened. For me, raising issue. That is why I initially asked the question: that what is it that may have happened within that period, for which this guy probably may have suffered whatever he is known to have suffered? Have they been seeing this boy in the house over the period and somebody is not happy, and for which reason they had to actually do a setup and then all these things happen? Because look, if somebody is dead and the death is related to you or any relative of yours, and you are given an opportunity to speak, I am expecting that at least there should be some form of some emotions being expressed. I don't know else. People may disagree with me, but a careful analysis of the body language suggests to me that, look, we are not seeing that.
What about her utterances, doctor, when she, for example, makes mention of the fact that she wouldn't want such a person to die? And she mentions God, things like that.
So, not on because of what? Because of what? Is it like she was expecting that even if they beat him, they shouldn't beat him to
because
death?
At the time when the boy had been brought back by the people, he looked frail and weak.
Good. So that is the point. Because she is saying that she doesn't know if the boy was beaten. So if you don't know that the boy was beaten, then how come this boy was brought back looking so frail? Remember, she had already said that even when she shouted, nobody responded. So that's why I'm saying that within that period, we need to fill in the gaps there.
Yeah.
Because it could be that what she's saying is not true.
I agree with you on that, because I remember when you and I were engaging yesterday, I raised concerns about which thief would want to go into a house to go and steal in a boxer shorts.
In a boxer short.
And again, I raised the issue as to, if she said she raised an alarm and nobody came and the boy ran, who met the boy where and brought the boy to the house?
Outside and then attacked the boy.
But as we wrap up our conversation, two things comes to mind. You asked that the police should put on their psychological cap and delve into this matter. What role do you think a postmortem can help unravel whatever happened in this case?
Yes, postmortems are very good because they are able to tell us the trajectory of the death, probably the weapons used, and the nature of the injuries the person may have suffered that may have warranted a person's death. So it is very important that the police do a thorough analysis of the body based on the autopsy report. And I'm saying that somebody who may have suffered some kind of trauma to warrant a person's death may have had some form of maybe internal bleeding. And most of this internal bleeding, I'm not a doctor, but from my little forensic studies and all those things, I know may come out as a result of people suffering some form of attack, on their bodies, or some form of brutalities on their bodies. So for me, that is where I want the police to focus on. Once they are able to understand the autopsy report, what went into it, we can then begin to analyze the chain of events that resulted in the death of this young man.
But in this whole thing, what lessons do you think we can all learn from this?
One, we still have to keep talking to people in this country that you cannot just pounce on people and begin to attack them because you suspect. It's not like as if you've even proved anything. You suspect that they may have been committing a crime. So as a people, we need to learn. We had the issue of Major Mahama on our hands, and as I'm even talking to you now, that issue, I don't know the finality that has been brought to it. We are still dealing with it. We cannot keep on having the same scenarios playing out over the period because the citizens are not learning. We need to do that. And now look, I'm a man. My fellow men, let me advise you. If you want to do your things, Dave, this one forgive me. Please, if you want to do your things, choose a neutral ground. It was never advisable for you to go and be sleeping with women in their homes and all that. It's not a good thing. It predisposes you to some kind of criminal act, especially when you and I know the system we have now. When they talk about faithfulness and honesty in relationships and marriages, it's becoming something that is very difficult to deal with in recent times. So for my fellow men, please, this one is a little security advice I'm giving you. Always choose a neutral ground.
But Doc, you'll agree with me that in some instances, people have been accosted in hotels and been assaulted as well.
Yes, but at least that provides you with much more security than if you have to go to a lady's home. So with hotels and those other places, people will have to cross a number of barriers before they get to you. You see, one thing about security is that you need to increase the obstacles for the criminal or the suspected criminal so that at least by the time the person gets to you, you could have gotten some refuge. That is why I'm saying that if you look at whatever happened or is supposed to have happened to this young man, just the place and the location and where he was at that time alone meant that he didn't have any chance, even if he tried to run away. And that is why I'm giving this advice to young men, that please, let's choose, where we want to do some of these things more carefully as a people.
I hear you. So, Doc, I know you continue to listen to us because I'm trying so hard to get through to Sylvester, who is a brother to Wyllbee, and also the road manager. I want to hear that bit, especially whether they knew that there was a relationship between the two. That is
Exactly.
Nanaya and Nanaya. But unfortunately, all this while the phone lines and the connection has not helped. So I'm going to take you off the line right now. If need be, I'll call you back.
That'll be fine.
All right. So that was Dr. Jones Opoku Ware. He's a security analyst and expert at the K University. He joined us. And I don't know whether you have followed this conversation. Listen, it's quite bizarre because a man has been beaten to death, lynched. And we have two different stories as to what really happened. And we're trying to unravel it here. We're not judging. We're not passing judgment on anybody. We just want to understand what really, might have happened. But if you want to make some money today, maybe after the weekend, you've run out of cash and you want to make some quick money, listen, the NLA 590 Noon Rush draw is here. It is here to enable you make some free cash. So from today, you can double your money by playing your favorite NLA 590 mobile